men are sleeping on the floor, car 19. Some of them are running, some don't know what running means. The wheels below are grinding out a sermon in the dark. Every clack and rattle leaves another kind of mark. Corner, got a Bible on his chest. Says the Lord provides for them who never stop their quest. But his shoes are worn to nothing, and his coat is full of holes. Lord provides in different ways to different kinds of souls. On the blind side of the track, where nobody sees you go. On the blind side of the track, where the cold wind starts to blow. We are riding on a promise that was never made to us. On the blind side of the track, in the dark, without a fuss. Pass through towns with no names, just a light and in the black. Every window showed a light I never could get back. But I pressed my face against the glass to feel the cold and know that at least the cold was honest, and at least the cold would show. Nobody's coming for us, nobody's calling our names. We are smoke inside a bottle, we are ash inside a flame. Blind side, blind side of the track. Lord, don't let me ride forever on the blind side. Preacher sang on Sunday morn about a land where peace is born. But Monday came with a paper hand, sending boys to a foreign land. Church bell rang by the county road, mothers carried a heavy load. Some said God would guide them through, some just prayed it wasn't true. No hymn for the battlefield, no choir in the rain, no church bell loud enough to cover up the pain. No hymn for the battlefield, no song for what they saw. Only one old harmonica crying mercy to the Lord. He learned real fast that the night don't care if a man kneels down in a soldier's prayer. He learned real fast that a boy can age before he ever turns the page. No hymn for the battlefield, no choir in the rain, no church bell loud enough to cover up the pain. No hymn for the battlefield, no song for what they saw. Only one pew. Same old Bible, same old view. But when the choir began to rise, he saw smoke behind his eyes. Faith don't always leave you, but sometimes songs fall thin. When a man comes home carrying the places he has been. No hymn for the battlefield, no choir in the rain, no church bell loud enough to cover up the pain. No hymn for the battlefield, no song for what they saw. Only one old harmonica crying mercy to the Lord. First light coming gray and gold above the tree line far. First light making something almost beautiful of the scar. Slept against the wooden wall and woke to orange sky. Lord, I didn't think that I'd be moved enough to cry. Down below is wide and flat and cold and free, wider than the rivers that I grew up next to see. Something in the wideness made me breathe a little more, like a man who's been inside too long and finds an open door. First light north, first light north upon my face. First light north, first light north in a different kind of place. Don't know yet if it's better, don't know yet if it's real. First light north is just the first thing I've been able to feel. Looking out, didn't say a thing but nodded like he knew what hope's about. Two men in the morning watching daylight hit the land, neither one with words enough to make the other understand. First light north, just let it be enough. First light north, Tennessee mud I know back home, red clay turned to gray clay, and the feeling's not my own. Stepped off at the station just to feel the ground below. Mississippi mud would hold me, Tennessee just lets me go. Bought a cup of something hot from a woman at a car. She looked at me like she could see the leaving in my heart. Didn't say a word, but wrapped her hands around the cup, pushed it toward me gentle like she knew I needed love. Tennessee mud on my boots, Tennessee sky on my face, Tennessee mud. Lord, I'm so far from my place. Every state's a different kind of stranger, different kind of stone. Tennessee mud on my boots, and I'm still not home. Beside the water tower said the north was 6 days more. Said the city swallowed men like him and always asked for more. Said he tried it twice and twice, come back to Tennessee mud. Said some men are made for moving, some are made for blood and flood. Tennessee mud, 6 more days, Lord, 6 more days of iron and mud. They pinned a medal on his Sunday vest, said he stood taller than all the rest. Town folks clapped by the courthouse door, but he kept staring at the floor. Mayor said, son, you made us proud. Band played sweet and the kids got loud. But under the brass and the palace shine, he heard men calling from another time. Dust on the metal, mud on the name. Ain't no ribbon gonna carry that pain. Dust on the metal, gold won't do when the man in the mirror ain't looking like you. They call it honor, he calls it a stain. Dust on the metal and thunder in his brain. He took that metal to the cotton shed, hung it up by an old mule bed. Said let it rust where the rain blows in. I can't wear what I can't defend. Dust on the metal, mud on the name. Ain't no ribbon gonna carry that pain. Dust on the metal, gold won't do when the man in the mirror ain't looking like you. They call it honor, he calls it a stain. Dust on the metal and thunder in his brain. from came, asked him why he hid that frame. He said, boy, some things shine too bright for men who still dream in the night. Glory has a shadow that follows every cheer, and some songs sound like victory till you're close enough to hear. Dust on the metal, mud on the name, ain't no ribbon gonna carry that pain. Dust on the metal, gold won't do when the man in the mirror ain't looking like you. They call it honor, he calls it a stain. Dust on the metal and thunder in his brain. Joseph never left, he said the land was still his blood. Said a man don't leave his roots just cause the river turns to mud. Last I saw him, he was fixing fence beside the road, back bent over like a man who's carrying too much load. Joseph's got it right. Maybe roots are worth the pain. Maybe I'm the fool that's riding into somebody else's rain. But the look he had that morning when he shook my hand goodbye was the look of a man who's staying and the look of a man who died. The man who stayed, the man who stayed behind. What's left of my mind? I ride the rails and wonder if the staying was the truth. Lord, I'll never know the answer till I'm along past use. In the same ditch, drank the same red muddy water. He married Thomas Jefferson's granddaughter's daughter. I never had a woman who would root me to a place. Maybe that's the reason that I'm moving through this space. The man who stayed, God bless the man who stayed. God forgive the man who couldn't. Lord, I ain't been clean. I done some things in darkness that the daylight's never seen. But I'm kneeling on this iron in the cold before the dawn, asking for a mercy that I'm not sure carries on. My father prayed on Sundays with his big hands in the air. Said the Lord could hear you even when it felt like no one's there. But the Lord was mighty quiet when the landlord took the land. And the Lord was mighty quiet when they broke my daddy's hand. Cold iron prayer, cold iron prayer at 3 a.m. Cold iron prayer. I don't know if you're listening to me then, but a man's got nothing left but words when everything is gone. Cold iron prayer just keeps a body moving on. If you got a plan for me, Lord, I'd appreciate the sign. Just a flicker in the darkness, just a marker down the line. Not asking for the kingdom, not asking for the gold, just asking for enough for something worth the weight of coal. Worth the weight, worth the weight of leaving, worth the weight of never going back. Cold iron prayer. Lord, just hear me out here. Cold iron prayer. Through the hollow runs a whistle, bouncing off the pine. Through the hollow runs a feeling I can't name or call mine. Echo of the engine, shaking water from the trees. Lord, I never heard a sound so full of longing on the breeze. Mississippi's far behind me now, I can't feel her in the ground. Tennessee is somewhere breathing, but she hasn't made a sound. Every state's a stranger, and every town's a door. I knock and keep on knocking, but I never know what for. Whistling through the hollow, through the hollow, through the night. Whistling through the hollow where there ain't no wrong or right. Just a sound of moving forward through the dark and through the cold. Whistling through the hollow, getting further, getting old. Saw a deer stand in the clearing, eyes like lanterns in the black. Didn't run, just watched the iron beast go rumbling down the track. Like she knew that we were broken, like she knew we had no choice, like she'd seen 1,000 men ride past without a voice. Hollow, hollow, Lord, the hollow swallows everything whole. whistling. Train stops somewhere I don't know the name of. Rust on every boat and rain on every roof. Men stepped off to stretch their legs in puddles ankle deep. I stayed inside and listened to the rain begin to weep. Heard a woman singing from a house beside the tracks, voice like warm molasses pouring slow and never back. Made me think of evenings on the porch before the drought. Made me think of everything I swore I'd live without. Rust and rain on everything I own. Rust and rain, I've never felt so alone. The whistle's gonna call me back before the song is through. Rust and rain won't wash away the memory of you. Beside me offered me a piece of salted bread. Said his name was Clarence, said his wife and children fled north, already 6 months gone. He's got an address on the slip. Said a man needs something real to make this kind of trip. Something real, something real. Lord, give me something real to hold on to, something I can feel. Rust and rain, just rust and rain. Stood at the crossing where the red clay meets the steel. Bag on my shoulder, nothing left here left to feel. The whistle cut the morning like a blade against the bone. Every man that's leaving never really leaves alone. Mama said don't go, said the North don't know your name, but the South done burned me down and nothing here's the same. Got $1.50 and a splinter in my hand. Lord, I'm stepping on that iron just to reach some promised land. Iron wheels keep rolling, rolling, rolling on. Iron wheels wheels keep rolling till the last of me is gone. Don't know what's ahead, Lord, don't know what I'll find. Just the smoke behind me and the dark ahead of mine. The fields are getting smaller, the smokestack's rising tall. Maybe nothing's waiting, maybe nothing waits at all. But a man can't keep on kneeling to a hay that won't give back. So I'm riding on the blind side of this cold and rusted track. Iron wheels, iron wheels, Lord have mercy on these iron wheels. Last mile before the light comes in, feet barely moving now. Last mile before the light, the hardest, don't know exactly how. Cello playing for the final darkness, tender and slow and low. Last mile before the light, the cello letting the darkness go. Last mile before the light, last mile before the light. Everything the road took going back now. Last mile before the light. Barely above a whisper, saving the last breath. Last mile before the light, between living and the next. Guitar soft as the coming gray, east barely showing pink. Last mile before the light, and me right on the brink. Last mile before the light, last mile before the light. Everything the road took going back now. Last mile before the light. Starting in the far pine line, one note and then a few. Last mile before the light, the birds always knew it too. Cello giving everything it had, last long aching phrase. Last mile before the light, and the cello ending its midnight days. Last mile before the light, last mile before the light. Everything the road took going back now. Last mile before the light. Sun edge burning on the horizon, red clay turning gold. Last mile before the light, behind me everything it told. Stood still and let the light find me, let it wash the dark. Last last mile before the light is over. Here comes the spark. Last mile before the light. Last mile before the light. Everything the road took going back now. Last mile before the light. 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 The night has no end on the red clay road, just keeps going on. The night has no end and the walking man keeps walking till the dawn. Cello saying what the night means, words won't ever find. The night has no end and the cello playing from behind. The night has no end. The night has no end. Red clay road going into forever. The night has no end. Of it, where the darkness thins. The night has no end on the red clay road. That's where it begins. Stars fixed above like they're waiting for something to occur. The night has no end and the stars confirm it with a blur. The night has no end. The night has no end. Red clay road going into forever. The night has no end. Dawn never came that night I walked. Road just kept on straight. The night has no end and the walking man learned to love the wait. Played till the play became the road, road became the song. The night has no end on the red clay road. That's where I belong. The night has no end. The night has no end. Red clay road going into forever. The night has no end. Red clay and old bones beneath this road. Been here since before. Red clay and old bones holding up everything and more. Walked this road on top of all of it. Didn't know till now. Red clay and old bones underneath, carrying the plow. Red clay and old bones, red clay and old bones. Road built on what came before it. Red clay and old bones. Cello sounding like those old bones tonight, deep and settling low. Red clay and old bones and the cello, that's all the road knows. Harmonica for the red clay above, cello for below. Red clay and old bones together, that's the road's undertow. Red clay and old bones, red clay and old bones. Road built on what came before it. Red clay and old bones. Every man who walked this road before left something in the clay. Red clay and old bones remembering every single day. Played the harp for all of them tonight. Cello played it low. Red clay and old bones absorbing everything we know. Red clay and old bones, red clay and old bones. Road built on what came before it. Red clay and old bones. When I'm gone, I'll join the old bones. Clay will take me in. Red clay and old bones one more time, that's where I begin. Road still carrying whoever comes after I am through. Red clay and old bones holding on, same as they always do. Red clay and old